Hello guys and welcome back to my channel SharePoint Guy. In this video we are going to explore 4 powerful new features in the Power Platform that will shape the way you work. So the 4 features are Dataverse Prompt Columns, Form Filler in Model-Driven Apps, Generative Pages, and Copilot Studio Agents calling agents. We will see all 4 of these features in action, but first, here is my short intro video. Let's start with Dataverse Prompt Column demo. So the first feature that we are going to talk about, which is newly added, is the prompt column, the new data type available into the Power Apps. The first thing, if you don't have an access to the Dataverse, as that could be a premium thing, you have identify a place, an environment, or a developer environment where you can try the Dataverse. If you don't know how the Dataverse works, still, I will suggest you start learning it, start brushing up your skills in terms of Dataverse because that is something you eventually have to learn in terms of Power Platform developer. So let's jump into the demo and I can show you the new column, which is new column type, which is available into the Dataverse tables. So if I go and click on new and then I try to create a new column. So let's say I want to create a new column, and in this data type section, if I go and open it, I will see a new column type that is a prompt column that is included right now. We already have a formula column into the database, which is working in the same way that we work with the calculated columns into the SharePoint, right? The same way we do some type of calculation. Let's say I want to get an average of these 2 columns. I want to do some type of math or anything. We use the formulas, and this formula column uses a Power FX formulas to achieve that result. But these prompt formulas or the prompt column comes into the picture when we, instead of getting the calculation done from our side, we want to use the AI like artificial intelligence or the LLM models to perform and provide us a response. Okay, so if I go and try to create a column prompt, and if I click on this add new prompt button, it will go and open up this UI. I'm sure you or some of you guys are already seen this. This particular AI prompt window is available at different places. The same UI will be available in the Copilot Studio. When you are generating AI prompts, it will be available as an AI prompt into the AI processing. So the same UI will be used in 3 to 4 different ways. Like it is a common type of behavior, so a user is feel more familiar with this prompt. Okay. Investing in learning this here will also help you in different ways, like in Power Platform, Copilot Studio, or in the AI Builder, all that stuff. So it is very, very important to understand this particular window. That would I suggest to you. So if you start learning this, let's say there are a couple of multiple models available. We can use GPT 4.1. There is already GPT-5 available, but somehow in this environment, I'm not having that. I can add my own models. I'm not sure how that is working at the moment, but in future, we will add a video into how to work with these models. And if you want to clear out this example prompt, we can just go and click on these 3 dots, that is for more and clear prompt. And then we can write our own prompt, right? Let's say I want to give an instruction to this particular column. Let's say someone is asking you something, then you have to provide a result of that. So right now I am using the employee data. As you can see, I'm using the employee data. So let me ask him something about, I want to get an whenever whenever a new employee is added, right? edit. I want you to include following following columns in the message, and then so I'm going to include those columns, and I can click on this add content. So it will open up that particular employee data table, and I want to include, let's say, full name, then hire date and job title about the employee. And when I click on add, those three columns will be added. Now, if I go and click on taste, it will take some time to get the response. So this is how the data will be displayed. Okay. Now let me just go and click on save. So my column is saved now. So as you can see, that prompt is now ready, and I am going to give this as name for new employee message. And when I hit save, whenever a new employee has been added, this particular column will have that prompt into it. So whenever a new data will be added into this particular column is going to have a value into it, and we can use this in so many ways. Like we can capture this when and Power Automate Flow can be written into this to capture this data and then send it. And there are a lot of use cases. Let me know in the comment what are the different use cases you understand about this particular requirement, how you can use this prompt column. Okay. The second feature is form filler in the model-driven apps. Let's see that in action in a demo. So now I am going to switch for the second feature, that is a form filler into the model-driven apps. I am in the model-driven app application. And when I'm trying to add new employee in this app, which is having the employees as an entity into it, you will see this option form assist. So it is a form fill assist toolbar. So when I click on it, you will see this type of proper UI interface. So how this particular form assist will work, the one thing which you will notice is there are a lot of things are going to happen or happening inside the era of AI. So Microsoft is focusing on that AI part, and a lot of things you will see first into the model driven apps instead of Canvas app, because uh, current comparing with Canvas app, the model driven apps are more organized, I can say, and it is easy for Microsoft to go and roll those things out into the model driven apps. So they are doing first into the model driven app, and then that will be available into the other sections of the Power Platform. Okay, so that is the one of the things. So you have to understand the model driven app. If you don't have an idea about the model driven app, you have to start learning about the model. So here, as you can see, there are four fields which we have to fill in: name, department, email, and remaining vacation days. So I have one notepad file created where I have all these four values triggered the way SharePoint as in department, email address, and number of remaining vacation days, right? To fill in the data, I can just copy and paste all these values one by one, or what I can just simply do is I can just copy all of these four in single go and click on the smart paste. So it will ask for me allow, and whatever I have just copied, it is going to consider and try to understand that okay, something is copied that can be matched in here. So as you can see, it has identified all the four values, like name needs to be put in a secret way, department, email address, and remaining vacation days. So if I go and accept four suggestions, all these four values will be added. If I want to avoid that, right, I don't want to accept it, then it's fine. I can just click on this discard and all values will be gone. How cool is that? Let's say you are having so many fields to be filled in. If you have this type of data ready, you can just go and fill in it. Let me go and try to do that one more time. Smart paste, that is a control V. I think it understands the values correctly. Sometimes what happens is it is not able to understand the values properly. I have to tweak it sometimes to get this perfect result. If I go and click on accept for suggestions, these four values are added now. Okay. And now I can go and save and close. So it will work in this way. Okay. So as I said, like sometimes it doesn't go and pick the values as it should be, but you have to bear with it. It is evaluating itself and it is going to be more smarter in future upcoming releases. So just bear with it and it will be working for you. That's for sure. Okay. Okay. Let me show you one more thing. Let me just go and refresh the page one more time just to show you that. So let's say I am using that control V one more time in this place. It identified, and when I try to save this, it will give me an error message because I have to accept these suggestions first. So it is not filled in, it is just showing that okay, this is what I'm going to fill in to these values. If I don't add these values or I accept these suggestions, until that time these values are not filled in. So I have to click on accept and then I am able to save this record. Okay. The another way to achieve is if we can also upload the file. So let's say I'm going to upload that same file, that is sigurdev.txt. Okay, let me just click on upload. And as you can see, okay, okay, so the next thing we can use this upload button, but I don't want to create the same record. So I'm just adding one value at the end and changing this value to 32 just for an example. If I go and click on this upload source and if I go and select that same file, it is again going to look for the suggestion, that is cigarette.txt file is added. Now it is also getting the same value. Sometimes it happens it not picking up the value, so you have to bear with it. If I go and accept these four suggestions, now I can go save and close this. The third way is if you want to drag and drop. So I'm not going to save this. For example, I am in the new form, right? If I go and try to upload that same file in this as a drag and drop, still it is going to work in the same way, right? It is taking up those values. I can accept these four suggestions, save and close, and my data is saved. Consider you are having so many values, so many columns to be filled in. This will become very helpful for you. Okay. So this is how it will work. Let's say I am having a different type of file or a text. It is not same as name, department, email on remaining vacation days, but something different. For example, I have this quick email generated for a new person joined Harshit Sukhwal into my team who is in the Power Platform department, and this particular email is also having some details about his interest, how many vacation days he are having, and all that stuff. So let us see if the smart lookup or the smart form assist can capture those details. So I'm going to upload that file and it's looking for the suggestions. And as you can see, it has identified the name of the user, that is Harshit Sukhwal. His department is Power Platform. His email is this one, harshitsukhwal@example.com. And remaining vacation days is something here. Let's say he has a leave balance of 10 days for the year as in vacation days. So this is very, very important and easy to work with. So if I accept these four suggestions, it is going to complete that, add that, and I can now do insert this or signatures. Cool, right? The third feature is generative pages. So let's see that in action in this demo. So the third feature is available into the model-driven apps at the moment, which is called as generative pages. So I have one model-driven app that is events tracker. If I go and try to edit this events tracker app, you will see a default behavior like default editor screen for the model driven saved it. So you can create or describe a page that is a generative page or the normal data was table related page. So I'm going to click on a describe a page. So it will open up this particular UI for you where you can describe a page. So for example, I want to build a gallery page for my accounts. I want to build a contact directory layout or something like that. But by using the chat GPT, our friend, I have created one prompt to generate an events page, which will list down all the events as well as I have created a prompt for generating a dashboard page. So first, let us just go and paste this. So this is one prompt which I have created related to I want to create a generative page that will show all the events from the events table. It should also display the following columns like events name, description, start date, and date when do Canarian Maps attendees. It will also provide an option to search events by keywords, filter by category, and all that stuff. So when I go and click, the other thing which I have to do is I have to add a data to get a context which we are talking about. So we are talking about the events. So I'm going to select the events table which is available into this particular model driven app. So when I go and click on generate, it will try to understand the requirement which I have added as a paragraph. It will take the assumptions, it will derive the other functions and all that stuff. And now it will start writing the React code for this application. So as in summary, it has derived is we want to create a responsive, user-friendly event gallery page showing all the required event details. We can add the search, category, and venue filters and sort by start date. We can also include the quick action button for creating an event and viewing the calendar. We can use the card view for each event. So all this stuff he understands, and now it is trying to generate this page. So as in the preview, this is the whole page it has created. If I click on new event, it will go and open up the new events entry because we haven't given or tell the generative pages to create a separate page for that or a calendar view, right? It is just blank at the moment, but we can get that working. We have the filters for categories, category filters and all that stuff. We can have the start date filters, right? As you can see, this is 5 December. If I go and change it, it's now 5 May. So filter is working fine. Let's say I want to add another prompt. So to get this new event as in pop-up, the calendar view and all that stuff, I'm going to update the prompt and I'm going to say that, let's say I want to have the event interaction page calendar as a dashboard page. I want a dashboard for my calendar events dashboard. I want the pop-up and that new event pop-up should fly in from top and all that stuff. So now it's trying to understand my requirement and now it's trying to generate the code. So this is the power of generative AI where it is trying to write a pure fluent UI and React based code for us, right? So let's just check this. Let's wait for this whole process to complete. Till now it has written about 450 lines of code, right? And still it's going. Let's wait for this whole process to complete and then we should have a preview. Sometimes what happens, it has so much things to do, so it breaks, but hopefully this time it will run perfectly and generate the output for us. Okay, let's wait for this to complete. Now it's working on the event section, adding the box. Now it's new event drawer, so now new events page is being created in here. So let's wait for that to complete. Just a minute. So as you can see now it has created 1792 lines, 1794 lines of code. Now if I go and preview this page, as you can see, I have asked the generative page to create me a dashboard. So it has tried to create this dashboard with all the different type of venues available. So if I go and select this open air park, I have one event or 0 events for that, like this. All the venues, if I select art studio, it has some bugs into that. We have to work with it in somehow, right? These are all the details. If I go into the events page, if I click on new event, as I given a proper prompt to have my new event page follow or drop from or the fly in from the top. So if I go and try to create a test event, let's say a due is today. That's 20th. Okay, there is a bug into this. It's not able to select it. So we have to tweak this, right? but it has this calendar view. This calendar view is consists of whenever there is an event, it will show something highlighted like this. And I can click on this pop-up to see that, but it's not working. So there are a lot of things that we have to tweak our code, but imagine this, writing someone this type much of code will take couple of days for them to go and work on this, but it has done in, let's say, 10 minutes, I can say, right? If I try to search music, I see that one event which is related to this music festival. So this is how you can use the generative pages. So this is how we can publish the page, and now that page will be available inside our model driven app. Okay. Number four is Copilot Studio agents calling another agent. Let's see that in the demo. So in this particular thing, we are talking about Copilot agents calling agents. So right now in the Microsoft Copilot Studio, and if I go and try to create a new agent, the first thing before we go and try to create a new agent, if you haven't used Copilot Studio till now, for your future or future you are behind. You should start learning about the Copilot Studio. You should start learning about how the Copilot Studio can customize, how we can generate the agents, the Copilot agents, and all that stuff. If you haven't done that already, you should start looking into it. I have created some of the videos into the Copilot and how the Copilot Studio works, so you can find that out about these things into my channel. You to create a simple agent, and in this simple agent, I haven't given any name at the moment because something else I want to showcase you in terms of the Copilot agent calling agent. So if you go into this section of agents, or we can go and check it from here as well. So we can create an agent or add an agent. So when I click on the add an agent, there are three ways I can create an agent. That is one agent which resides inside this particular agent, so it is not available to any other agents, but it is part of this agent 3, for example. The other thing is, if I have already created any of the agents which are part of the Copilot Studio or Microsoft Fabric, I can connect to them as well. But in this particular scenario, I'm going to create an agent which is going to reside inside this particular agent. It is not available to any other agents into the Copilot Studio environment. When I click on this create an agent, I can assign some of the specific tasks to this particular agent. So what is the name of my agent? As you already know, the description is very, very important part inside the Microsoft Copilot Studio that will help the agent to understand or derive the task that it should work on it. So whatever description you want to provide, you can provide that description, the instructions, the knowledge. If this particular agent should work on the knowledge which is you are going to provide, or that could be a web search related knowledge. It should go and call any of the tools, that could be MCP servers or anything else. I have already created one video into the MCP server as well. You can go and check out into my channel. So when I go and configure this agent, it could call this particular agent from the agent number 3. So let's say I'm giving this name as an agent 4. I give some of the instruction. This agent will work on the incident tickets, for example. And then I need to work on this agent in the same way I should work with other things, right? So the same way it should work. And then I can go and work with the topics and all that stuff for this agent, and it should work in the same way with other agents. I will going to create a detailed demo video on to how to configure this type of agent calling agent scenario, but in this particular video I'm not going to cover in that much of detail. But yes, this is an agent which is available inside this agent 3. So if I go and check the agents now, I see one agent, that is agent 4, which is a relationship as a child agent. So as you say, live inside the current agent and inherit its settings. It is triggered by the agent, and according to that we can enable or disable. I'm not going to configure this agent at the moment, but in future we can work on this agent to calling agent scenario. Okay, let me know into the comment section if you want me to showcase that particular scenario where agent is calling another agent. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss new SharePoint tips and Power Platform tips from the channel. Your support keeps SharePoint Guy growing. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.